Okay, let's start. So today we're gonna start with 2 pointers. We're almost done with arrays and hashing. I wanted to come back to one of the questions. It was a Sudoku question. I didn't quite understand it, so I didn't submit the solution. And so we're gonna come back to that later on. And let me write that down. I don't forget why it's not completed. Perfect. Okay, so the question we're gonna do, let's take a look. We start with an easy one. Be a good idea. I'm cleaning my glasses. Okay. Yeah, let's do palindrome. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do valid palindromes. Let's open that. Okay, you're given a string. Return true if it's a palindrome, and then false otherwise. Okay, first things first, whiteboarding. I'm gonna grab this example to the whiteboard. How can we check if it's a palindrome? It's 2 pointers, so what does that tell us? That should be a hint on its own. We have a pointer here, call it I. We have another pointer at the end, call it J. So we compare them, and if they're true, then we can just move down at the same time. So we can grab this I pointer, group that. Yeah, so we could compare them. Then we'll move if it's valid. So if they're the same, then we can move them like this. We can move them down by 1. Super easy. You always just move them down by 1. Eventually, you should get to the middle. Is the space included? That's an interesting question. Is the space included? Space should not be included, right? Because the space can be like in a weird spot. So for example, if we're at this index here, let's say it's the space for J, and then let's say for I, let's assume they're the same distance away from their initial point. Because there was a, let's say there was a space in place of an S, so the S would be like after. Then it wouldn't be a palindrome. So we have to account for spaces. So if, yeah. So that means something else. Not only are we, okay, let's do this. Start them at the beginning. And we want to check for so are the characters letters or numbers? Okay. If they're either of those, then we check if they're equal. Okay. What if they're special characters? Let's see. So it says it's case sensitive and it's going to ignore all non-alphanumeric characters. Okay, so if it's not a letter or a number, we can decrease the pointer or increase. Yeah, so we have to increase or decrease the pointer with this special character. What's the space constraint? Is it 1? Okay. Just like all the other questions, I'm gonna try to solve it without taking into account time and space complexity. So for the space, if I don't account for O of 1, I can make it O of n, which will reduce this second check. So I can do copy S, I can copy S without the spaces or special characters. Let's say it said it was case sensitive. Okay, so we can also turn all of them to lowercase. Make it simpler. See. Give me 1 second. see. What were we doing? We were... Yeah, so if we make a copy of the string, removing special characters and spaces, and we could essentially make them lowercase when we make the copy. And then we could do the pointer. The nice thing about this is we don't have to do this alternative check where we're incrementing and decreasing the pointer if we see a special character. Yeah. Then once they meet, we have found a palindrome. Okay, well, we're going to start with this approach. Then we'll focus on optimizing. I think that's a fair take. So we'll do string s. Oh, actually, and I want to try it on the terminal because I just installed the plugin for debugging and I want to test it. So actually, let me copy this. We're going to make this method. Am I sharing the right screen here? Let me just make the file. Okay. What else do we need? String. Okay, I'm just going to copy the example string. Not too sure if we need something else. Oh man, what's happening? Let me add the -G for debugging. Oh, nice. We're just gonna say cool. Okay, works. Okay. Okay, the first thing we want to do, set up a variable with a copy. We're going to call it SS. So then we want to copy S into SS. And to do that, we are going to iterate with an index I. Okay, I'm going to have to look this up. What I'm trying to look up is how to check if a character is a special character. Also, is space considered a special character? Two things I don't know. This will only work if we can do that. So let's look that up. Okay, numbers are also alphanumeric, so that's important. Okay, it says we can use is alpha. Okay, returns false. The character is not a letter. Oh, we want to check if it's alphanumeric, right? And we have to include CC type. It's called isAlNum. Returns false if the character is not alphanumeric. Okay, we could try that. Okay, so if the character is alphanumeric, we want to, wait, I don't think string is the right thing to use here. We want something equivalent to like a string builder. We've used this before, I just can't remember. Or we could just use append. We'll do SS append letter. Pretty much it. I think this is it. And we do nothing if it's alphanumeric. if it's not alphanumeric, my fault. It does not like append. Am I using it wrong? Push back. So I have to set it to like an empty string. How are they using append? We want to append a character to a string. Maybe I'm using the wrong thing. Oh wait, it's this one. Append character to string. Pushback. I was using the wrong thing. Okay, we'll save that. Does that look right? We can test it. We'll return, make a copy of this. We'll yoink it, and then we'll paste it here. And we'll change the name of this method. We'll call it string to string, because we are returning a string, so okay, we'll call it back. We'll call it down here. So we'll do it should work. That's nice. Okay. I mean, it's working. Another thing was we want to turn them into lowercase. Since we're already iterating through them, I don't think it takes a lot of work to do that. Could be wrong. What should we look up? Character to lowercase. Okay, they have that in DC type, which we are using. It's just called to lower. And we pass in the character. Wait a minute. Okay, so 2 lower returns the ASCII integer equivalent of the letter. And so we have to cast char. Interesting. Okay. I think we just need this. This is the casting. Static cast. 2 lower and then C. We'll change the C part. I think we could do it here. Actually, we shouldn't do it there. Do it in here once we've verified that it's a letter. So we could say letter is now equal to its lowercase version. Is this going to give us the scope issue? I hope not. Let's try it again. Okay, we should get lowercase now. Nice. Okay, we're one step closer to solving this. Is there a way to fold the code? Okay, we could ignore this one for now. String to string. And we'll go back to is palindrome. Oh wait, we need that. We need the conversion from uppercase to lowercase. Okay, perfect. I'm trying to look for the right font theme, color theme. Sometimes the menu doesn't look right. So the menu looks more purple on stream. Okay. Okay, I think I have to switch to a different background music. There's something going on. What's even worse? Okay, we'll stay with this one. Okay, so SS is a string with all lowercase letters, no special characters. And so now we should be able to do two-pointer. So we'll have int I equal to 0. And this will be our left pointer. Not what I meant. Then we have J. And we'll set this one to the end of S. Or sorry, it's SS dot size minus 1, I think. And this is the right pointer. Okay. And then we could do, okay, we can start the loop. We'll use a while loop. We'll say yeah, while they're not equal, so they're not in the same index, we can decrease them at the same time. Or sorry, not decrease them, but like move them towards each other at the same rate. We can use see and say if actually let's make it more explicit by saying char left letter equal to SSI and then char and this one's J. Okay, so now in the condition, sometimes the autocomplete is nice, but I feel like it fails most of the time. So we'll say if they're equal, we can move the pointers. If they're not equal, then we can just return false. So we're going to do the condition that they are equal. So left letter equal to right letter. And we'll say I plus plus. Okay. Else we just return false. Am I missing something there? There should be no tricky edge cases. Okay. So we'll test it. Let's see. We should write, what are the test cases? We should just grab them and paste them here. Tab a cat. I guess we could only use those two. Make our own, but okay, we'll do those three. What else? What else do we have? Oh, and we could add characters in here. Make it more interesting. Let me make a copy. I think I've done it before. Cool. Let's check this. Oh, I should probably actually print them out. Okay, that works. That just glitched out. I think the music's super low. Okay, we'll just do here. So we'll print the word first, and then we'll print whether we've solved the problem. So we'll say like, I think that's it. I just butchered that. Hey, what's up? Just make the chat bigger. I can't really see it. I think this works. Okay, I think it's just printing 1. It's not getting the right value. It should just be like true or false. Which these are all true. That's why it's 1. Wait, except for the second one, I think that should be false. What did we get last time? Okay, why are they all returning 1? This one's false here. Wait, this is a perfect time to use the debugger. Yeah, let's do that. Did it do it? Okay, there it is. I think we do this. We can close that. And we can run the debugger. Here we go. See? Okay, there it is. Do I step into this? Should. Okay, it's empty. Why does it return 1? Let's see. It should return false. Keep going down. Oh, I see. I think I know why it's returning the wrong thing. I'm calling this palindrome on the same string. Genius move right there. I'm not reading chat, unfortunately. I'm trying to solve this. I should be reading chat. I'll try to read chat more often. Okay. Did I save this? I think I did. Then we do this. So now we should have 0 for the second test. So I think it's ready for submission. So we'll grab this whole method. And then we just paste it in here. We format it. Wait, why does this one fail? Let's grab this. Wait, let's look at this first. Okay, I think with this, we can debug it much better. But before we print it out, we should probably just comment these out. We'll compile again. Okay, big brain move, I didn't print. we have to compile again, and then we can run it. Wait, why is it printing that it's not a palindrome? Okay, I'm gonna debug. Put a breakpoint there. Wait, let me start it. Right, we want to step over, step into, and we want to know why it's returning 0 instead of 1. Because it could only return 0 here when the letters are not equal. Weird. I'm gonna skip forward. Okay, it's just gonna wait a minute. Rebuilding the word again. Okay, let's keep going. So it should be 13. Okay, that's correct. Okay, they're equal here. Okay, they're equal right there too. So confused what's happening. Why is it not working? Keep going. Okay, I found the issue. It should not be not equal to, so the indexes, it should just be as long as I is less than j. I think that was the issue. The way I have it set up here, somehow when they're equal, let's see. How come when they're equal, they just continue? So we'll do while I is less than j. Nice. Okay, not optimal. Still O of n. But space, it takes extra space. Okay. I think we're gonna stop there for today. We could come back, try to optimize, but once solved, it's pretty good.